start. I would like to say, in this ultimate showdown, ultimate match between these two, working at a company that is, I'm not sure, you didn't share that information, but the intercompany bronze to diamond, can you think of anything more competitive? Bronze to diamond implies that there were above diamond players. Otherwise, why would you specify, like bronze to diamond? But, anyways, so, Atreides he started out as a lowly gold player. Now he's solidly platinum. And over the last few months, via Patreon, he's done coaching. So he's improved, I think. And he actually made it to the finals of this tournament he set up. Very Terran of him. But if he loses this best of three, he hasn't done coaching really for a couple months, and also he hasn't really paid much attention. But also, maybe he learns differently if he wins. So, like, who knows? Like, So what I'm trying to say is, like, the coaching, I think, has gone very well, but there's always more room for improvement. So we will see here as we go into this. Okay, so I gotta say, Atreides not with a SIG build. I asked ready, they both said ready, and then he said, wait one, and then he went to the bathroom, and now he's back. So, here we go. A best of three. I asked like best of 5, best of 7, like best of 3. That's enough for us. And here we are. Let me introduce to you the one in the bottom right of the Oddball clan, which is, I think, one of their, I don't know, like an inside thing. Either way, the ZerG player. Diamond 3 coming in at 140 average actions per minute, I'm guessing. It is Balkast. And in the bottom left with the red Terran pieces, coached by the illustrious Winter, though how much he has retained will be determined by the outcome of this match. It is through Patreon for the low price of $200 a month, which is like enough that you really gotta want it for some reason or have money to spare, which hopefully he doesn't in the game. But anyways, it is Atreides, the Platinum, I believe, 2 Terran right now. So an underdog story, though the difference between Platinum 2 and Diamond 3 is mostly mental. As there are very similar potential mistakes and issues. Though, we will see. If I remember correctly, part of the issues that Atreides had during coaching was, well, one was getting away from the classic TPM, the turrets per minute, starting as a full Bronze League inspired Terran who will have their couple units they like to micro and then make sure that those non-existent mutalisks don't. Oh my god, what is that guy doing back there? All right, is it? Oh my, we're on a space platform. Is anybody gonna comment? We're growing hatcheries on the space. This doesn't seem safe. Anyways, so he asked for advice specifically before the match, and I of course didn't want to offer too much because never give anything away for free. But also, just the basic advice I gave him is if you don't die to Zerglings, so don't die to Zerglings. Get your second and third production facilities, whether they're factories or barracks, before 5 minutes, which is very important. And one, he specifically has an issue, and what I find, those higher Metal League Terrans also have a pretty significant issue with actually getting enough production to make enough units that you can actually do anything. So that's kind of a key point. All right, there's some Zerglings. So we're gonna be watching like half coaching, but also half. And now we're gonna do it live. How you doing, Bob? This is Atreides, the other super Patreon. I rescheduled with Bob coaching because I'm like, maybe after being awake for 24 hours, I'm not gonna be very productive coaching wise. But Atreides was like, why don't you cast these two like diamond-ish players in a best of 3? And I'm like, you know what? I think I can pull that off. So here we are. I think I can manage that. So I hope you guys enjoy my management of it. What we got over here, Balkast, going a lot of different directions. He's got Zergling speed. What is this? What is this build? How many times? How many times? You don't even have like 4 Marines. Combat shield. What are they gonna share? A shield? Like there's 4. There's like you don't have any Marines. Why do you need combat shield? I guess it's better than stim. There we go, though. There we go. Barracks 2 and 3. Glad to see it. Though the SCV production, not existent. So that's, you know, you can only do so many things at a time. All right. In this case, approximately 65 every single minute for Atreides here. So, that is efficient. So you gotta pick and choose. The Hellions get in. The Hellions. Well, there's roaches on the way. Oh my god, a barbecue! 18 drones! Okay, so now, yeah, that's a lot of drones. Okay, well, now he needs to just not die. Okay, you know what, at some point, for all my coaching and all my tips, it's like sometimes you just get the Hellions in the base, you just kill all their drones. That's it. And, for better or worse, here we are. Because Balkast didn't pay for Patreon coaching, or I would have told Balkast, make some fucking queens instead of dicking around with no units. And roaches also suck. Just queens. S tier. The only S tier ZerG early game unit. Actually, probably the only S tier unit for ZerG overall. But no, Balkast did not pay for it, and that's why Balkast right now finds himself behind against a Terran player who just learned what macro is, as we can see at his base. As after killing most of the drones, he's like, and also this 3 more barracks, 2 edgy bays, and armory. No SCV production. I mean, 1 step at a time again. It doesn't matter. Is a 3rd command, so just, yeah, you know, everything else. Is this an angry coach show match? I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. And opportunistic. But like and subscribe. Also, yeah, I need to feel. Now, start a prediction. Sheba, get a prediction up. Hurry up before this road challenge hopefully fails. Because of my amazing coaching and great tips. And then he just ran. Like, I would have said, don't do the Hellions. Don't rely on the Hellions. At some point, the Hellions aren't going to be it. But then the Hellions get in and kill 34 drones. It's really hard to argue with that. Like, at some point, when the Hellions kill 30 drones, like it's 2012 and Slayer's Boxer is making Idril rage quit out of North America. Oh my god, did you need that 8th Marine, Clem? I don't. Okay. So, here's the thing. Atreides. Oh, god damn it. Maybe we should have done coaching this month. I mean, this is a show match. It's on Winter stream, I've heard, and he's a pretty high level caster, so you got to show high level games. So here we go. Here goes the medevac. All right, there goes the medevac. Oh, the queen's actually gonna get a hold, but then the Marines will just kill the queen, and then they'll go wherever the select all army hotkey tells them to go, because fuck you guys, we're out of here. Alright, well, never mind. Okay. And here's the rest of the army anyways. So the army supply is about even, but roaches are very bad. He built 2 NG bays and 1 upgrade, okay. And here comes the tank push. Some real armies coming together. A good push here from Atreides. That's and disjointed defense from Balkast. Well spread, got medevacs, I gotta, like, I can criticize the amount of stew there is, but the stew I see here smells good. What? And it looks like the unenthusiastic hand job of unit compositions, the Roach Hydra, not gonna be enough. Atreides, Terran through. I mean, the roaches just keep trickling out. I mean, to victory. 86 APM skyrocketing up. I gotta say, for 86, nope, we're getting there. We're so close. And the third base, such as it is, exists and is, such as it is, mining. And GG! Game 1 goes to your Terran hero. Goes to the man with 6 Hellions and 0 fucks. Slaughtering somewhere in the realm of like 30 drone. Let's take a look at that worker count. It doesn't look as dramatic here. It rarely does, because you bounce back pretty quick. But yeah, there's a dip. Alright. There's a bit of a dip. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm as I set up the next match. Now, all right, we're ready to go. Game 2, Atreides up 1-0 in this best of 3. Let's see. The inter-office banter. Now, watch. He told me this was a bronze to diamond tournament at his company. Little did he say his company was him and his wife. I don't know how many people were in the tournament, but here we are. These are the final 2. How convenient. Before said tournament, of which I have little details besides a tournament, which could be a tournament of 2 people, I guess. Well before, several weeks ago, I had committed to this. So, I don't know if it's fortuitous, or if it was, guaranteed that Atreides made it here, but here we are. And, honestly, I gotta say, we're gonna put on my coaching sombrero. It's invisible. If I put it, build FCVs. Honestly, past that, it's just details. The big thing missing was building FCVs. But otherwise, The production was kind of in the realm of on time. Like, the execution of both the Hellions, especially, and then also the tank push wasn't bad. The unit composition was good. It's just filling in the gaps a little quicker. We had like 16 people-ish. I'm gonna take random guy in the Twitch chat who claims to be involved for all of his word because, well, that's actually quite impressive. And the fact that it says bronze to diamond implies that there are masters plus. Or it just makes everyone feel better. I don't know. This is a very dramatic scouting SUV. He's been paying $200 a month in coaching. It's more like we had people with a ladder bug. That never. It's over now. Oh, he forgot his second depot. Oh, he's choking. Oh wait, he didn't build any SCVs. It's fine. He's not supply blocked. He's been a little slow on that. Balkast says, you know what went wrong last game was I had no units when the Hellions came in. And I lost all my drones. So he's like, you know what would be even better? If I did it again. And that way we could really get like a good control experiment. Is that a real? I'm looking this oddball.io. There you go. Wait, I don't know. Am I reading this? I can do that. I'm reading this from the guy in the Twitch chat that made it sound very official. We're gonna have to get. I'm sorry, the introduction is coming halfway. We'll see into the second match, but our company is oddball.io, and I can tell you, Atreides, our CEO, and Balkast, a lowly engineer who's throwing to get a raise. And he's a lowly engineer that works on code and made it to the finals. His words against his boss. A David versus Goliath or a Balkast versus Atreides match, as it's better known. Over a dozen or more in the tournament, over 100 folks and others in the company. Just don't have many Starcraft players, so I mean, I think if downsizing comes to it, just ask for their Riot login. And you'll have your list. Anyways, here come Hellions. This time we got roaches out. Alright, gonna try it again. Oh, but this changes everything. Okay, so Balkast learned if you have any units, that might be enough. Atreides is, this is not looking like... So, without the 30 drone roasting... I mean, what does it say? The Terran is a CEO, whereas the Diamond ZerG is a lowly engineer. I mean... Oh, wait. Oh, look at this. Really trying a new angle. This time coming from the left. And it's successful! In come the Hellions! Not as successful as last time, but like you really approaching from. Well, I mean, it's the same angle, but he circled back, and he found an opening. Okay, he found his niche, and by that I mean he wasted a lot of money and time on something that was not worth it. But I'm sure that's limited to the game. Production on the way, engineering bays as well. But Balkast this time around definitely going to have a better shot. I like not losing most of your drones usually gives you a better chance than when you lose most of your drones. That's another pro bono tip from me. Balkast, mostly unharassed, gonna be able to put his army together. And it's going to be a lot of army. With upgrades, I would say. Usually I add like a qualifier, like good or bad, or just upgrades. There's some upgrades. Not a lot. Not a little. This is gonna be like 1-1 eventually for both sides. The creep spread. Really starting to get things rolling. You find, like, Balkast, a macro ZerG, a bit of a macro player himself, or at least playing one right now. I don't know what you expected to find with that scan, but he sees roaches all there. The infestation pit is a little odd. I mean, like, you see an infestation pit, and what do? The answer is whatever you were doing before. Yes, correct. Good answer. The SCV count is a little lacking. But with great siege tank count comes great opportunity. Especially against ZerG players. Especially against ZerG players who might not be used to using more than a small number of hotkeys. Loco. So, we will see as Atreides continues to, well, he's getting the upgrades now. We're going to be probably getting the tanks in the next round. Fourth and fifth. Balkast exploding economically. Just obliterating this graph. Well, the scale actually just changes. But at the end of the day,
the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Atreides. Because, even with mules, and I'm not a businessman, alright? I dropped out of business school to play Starcraft, and look where that got me. But, the numbers don't lie, and this is not good for our Terran here. We might be going to a Game 3 if it continues in this direction. The thing, well, there will have to be one very important phase, which is potentially attacking into siege tanks. And we cannot underestimate or overestimate the possibilities there on either side. You never know how particularly bad or good it's going to go. It really depends. Like, there's a not tiny chance that Atreides just unsieges, moves out, and dies horrible. But at the same time, if you just get in your mind you're going to kill those tanks, well, then things get a little more complicated. As we've reached the non-aggression pact phase of the game. After those Hellions, they signed an agreement that until at least 12 minutes they would not fight again, which is very diplomatic of them. An overseer floats. The evidence washed away here on 2,000 atmospheres, and one brave Marine. And now, you see, I'm not sure about this scan. I think he might have had something at the watchtower, but he sees the army move. The rest of the army now inspired. I'm not sure. Some tanks, I'm not sure where these tanks are going. Unfortunately, it seems like that, you know, like just unsieging, and I didn't expect him to just walk the tanks in. That's not really what I meant, but here we are. I gotta... That's not... Oh, but that, yeah, that's not good. That's not a good fight for ZerG. Oh my god. The carnage. The butchery. The massacre. Yep, those are, yep. And imagine if he had 5 tanks. Like, oh my god. We wouldn't even be able to see it. Like, imagine, like, that was very sporting to lose those 3 tanks. Like, because with 5 tanks, that would have just been a slaughter. Yes, he might have the bank, but since he didn't get trademark winter coaching, trademark TM, trademark watching one guide, he didn't have the queens to get the larva to spend the bank. He's out of larva. Well, not anymore. He just injected and got some more injected. But he would have had the larva to remax immediately. Well, unfortunately, both of the tanks are at the front, though this bio army with 2-2 isn't going to be terrible. There's not quite enough. Well, here come the reinforcements. Going to back off a bit. Well, unfortunately, they're the rear guard now. The siege tanks were a very, very, very important component of all this. And they seem to have been left out of the equation. Yeah, those 5 siege tanks have done a lot of work. And now there are 0, which is significantly less. But there were lurker upgrades. I mean, Atreides is holding the line. We got 2-2, 3-3 on the way for both sides as we continue the struggle. Still 80 drones for Balkast, able to replenish this army many times over, and so far that's been necessary. We may have to talk to Atreides about building more than one factory at some point. Oh, we gotta siege up that tank. There's a couple tanks in the back. Just a couple tanks, though, have done a lot, and half the Roach Hydra isn't really convinced it wants to get involved. But are there just simply enough units to hold the line? With half the Hydras just kind of stuck in the back, another tank is coming up. Every single unit pulled into the battle. The orbital dies, but I really actually can't tell very well. There's still one tank. What happened to the other tank? Was there another tank? No other tank now. It looks like the war of attrition, though, will continue tilting in Balkast's favor. Though, he's really making a game of it. I just have to think, like, imagine if he had those 3 tanks. How this game would look now. I do appreciate the embracing of a very, very macro over micro build here from Balkast. He's really focused on those fundamentals. Very focused. There's Atreides is he's not doing bad, but it's just like at some point the tanks have to be sieged. And that point is ideally before a bunch of roaches and hydras are in your base. That is a very interesting sensor tower over here. Oh, 3-3 ain't done. That's a very, very bold bit of bio there. 3-3 is about to complete. That's a planetary fortress over there. 3-3 done for the Roach Hydra, not for the bio. Not sure how relevant. 2 siege tanks enough to turn everyone around. 3-3 is going to finish on both sides. It ain't over yet. He does have the lurker upgrades, but he does not have any of those pesky lurkers. He's maxed out. So the thing is, for Balkast, he actually can't build any lurkers right now, not without going through a lot of effort. So he's gonna have to attack. But there is a non-zero chance that the attack goes so incredibly poorly that he's got 45 larvae, which is a lot of larvae. It's enough. It should be enough. The 300 supply ZerG is back. You really got like the tanks just have to be sieged. Like at least some of them. Okay, you gotta see like, oh my. You gotta see more than one, ideally. Well, unfortunately, looks like one is all we're gonna get. Imagine with me, a thought experiment. Imagine if more than one tank was sieged. Imagine. How crazy. Well, embracing the medevacs for all policy for all his Marine employees. A very progressive statement here from Atreides. 45 more roaches. Now, next fight, Atreides gonna opt. Like, he might even have 2 tanks sieged. Which, are there any, did all the Hydras die? So 2 Liberators come flying out, right as 56 roaches and 5 queens. And those 5 queens are gonna have a real rough time. Oh no. Oh my, like, you gotta siege the goddamn tanks. Oh my god. At some point, the tanks must be sieged. No, not this point, though. Maybe a different point. Maybe, like, any other point besides this exact point. Ooh. Wow. Okay, well, both these players really trying their best to lose the game to one another. So far, like, Atreides coming down, he's like, I have more. And, well, here we are. The Liberators got a little distracted. I wonder what happened there. The tank will siege. Unfortunately, this is about as good as concaves get. Meanwhile, the Liberators, well, the Roaches are coming back to deal with the Liberators, as both these players struggle with the idea of control groups. 9 drones, so Balkast is actually behind in workers. There's 13 medevacs and not 13 bio units total. But, like, here we are. And that number's not going to stay very high. The planetary, oh, well, at some point, it's just too many Roaches. The planetary's kind of an important part. GG. All right. Well, all tied up. Okay. Well. Wasn't that...
New subscriber detected.
That was indeed. Yes. A very, like, a roller coaster, really. A wild ride these players are taking us on. In this oddball finals, where some oddball players do their oddball strategies, and we find out just with anticipation and with excitement at the end who wins. Sorry, I had to grab a drink. These are obviously not pro gamers. 2 games and it's like, oh my god. Oh, fucking. Alright, gaming time. Fuck. Here we go. I don't know what they're going to get. I don't know what he's drinking. Like, you had to grab a drink. I don't, like, did we not think of this beforehand? Good luck. Wishing each other luck. It's a little late. And here we go. A match so good, we're not going to just drop a handful of Marines, but also all of the frames. Alright, everybody hold on through this tropical lag storm. We're going to try to come out the other side. But apparently, I'll give it just... You know what? Maybe we just... Slideshow presentation. Get your... In the bottom. Oh, well. We got so far. Been doing so well. Comcast. Let's hope in the VOD that shows up.
Game paused.
This is really bad. Tell everybody to refresh. And also, this is on YouTube because of how incredible this match is. Oh yeah, this guy's streaming as well, so you can get the first-person perspective, though probably not. It still shows bad to me. It makes me upset. My mood is markedly changed. But it looks like it's evening out, and this... Oh yes, does he have a subscribe button? Oh wow, he's looking for a new job, I see.
Oh, good.
Thank
Now I
you.
have your attention.
Damn it, Comcast, give me a Meadows of winter.
Game resumed.
Alright! They've gotten to the complimenting each other and doing self-plugs phase. Here we are. It's everyone here. Balkast in the bottom right. In the top left is Atreides. So far, a close series. It's obvious that these two have are relatively closely matched. Balkast's potentially over-engineered and inefficiently executed style up against Atreides' sparing, minimalist, yet more efficient compositions. So it could go either way. And maybe someday Atreides will remember to build his second depot on time. But it is not this day. This day we try to hunt an overlord into an area that even if it doesn't go to the pervert pillar, it probably won't figure out. Well, technically... Okay, oh, a spine crawler right off the bat. He does not like the Hellions. He doesn't like the Hellions. Also, by the way, that pause was obviously... Twitch was vetting me. I did pour water all over myself to cool myself down from these awesome gamer moments. But they were, like, you have to be careful. Because, like, since I've been doing hot tub streams lately, like, you don't want streamers to drown. This is important. So, in subscribers, when people figure out what Amazon Prime and Prime Gaming are, for very free, you can... But for terms and conditions apply, something like that. I don't know. Gaming.amazon.com. Do it now. We already know you have it. You're probably getting ads for it all the time. Now it's even worse. So it looks like we're getting closer and closer to just doing like 2 base roaches. Every game has been quicker roaches. Though this game actually was a bit of a mistake because I'm pretty sure the lair is for roach speed. Unless he's gonna go Mortars! We are losing it. I really thought that not sleeping for 24 hours... No. It was just because I wanted to play Titanfall. Let's make no mistake. For the record... It wasn't because I was so passionate about this match. I literally couldn't sleep. Though, I mean, maybe it was. But I also wanted to play Titanfall, so. And so should you. So, Atreides is a very, he follows directions well. I see that. Like, I said, well, just focus on... I thought about saying, like, focus on getting 40 SCVs and 2 and 3 wrecks by 5 minutes. But I'm like, that's a lot. Like, it's kind of implied. It's not implied, apparently. Despite, I'm pretty sure on some of the notes I wrote, like, never mind. Here we are. Balkast just really... does not want to die to 6 Hellions. But Atreides, As this match gets closer and closer, and the score is now dead even, and we're one match away, you can see the inner gold leaguer from both players coming out. Let me draw your attention to the random ass spine crawler and the panicky roaches from Balkast. Like he has an overlord. He could have overlords. He could see. This wasn't supposed to be Angry Coach, but they won't fight each other, so it's going to be too bad. You get what you pay for, and what you pay for is for me to cast the match however I please. Here we are. So, Balkast is reverting to 2-base Roach until he feels safe or nothing tries to kill him, and then he'll expand. Atreides is doing the same thing with siege tanks. They're both kind of tucking into their shells, and they'll come out in like 4 minutes when they're kind of close to maxing out, hopefully with upgrades. That's what's going to happen, alright? Because you don't want to take any risks when big game 3. Alright. We got 1-1 on the way and 2 NG bays for Atreides coming up. $13 more drives. It looks like we are going to see a sort of repeat of the previous match. At least in style. Which is Balkast very focused on a large, thick, meaty Roach and probably Roach Hydra composition. Whereas Atreides is really going to try to remember to siege his tanks up. And that's where we are now. A scan reveals most of the details, which are a Hydra den and a lair. So... I don't blame him. I do this. Well, actually, no. When I've played in relatively, like, tournament matches, even if it wasn't the most serious tournament, usually when it gets down to it, like an elimination match, one, I either do a default build and die to a cheese, or I do a stupid cheese I never do and lose. That's my go-to trend. I think many players. It's better to go to whatever your, like, default, this is kind of my fallback, I've done this before, at least something like it. I think that's better than, like, this is the time to do a proxy hatchery drone rush for the first time this season. But, I mean, it's always a good time for a proxy. Bly, oh Bly. Is it a good time? Jason Mimosa. Is that the actor? I'm sorry, I just caught that. That sounds pretty tasty. You guys excited to see the new Dune with Jason Mimosa? I've seen a lot of people whining about it. That's not even a good one. I went out of the tournament proxy hatch into DTs. Wait, were you the proxy hatch or the DTs? And which one leaves you with less respect? Is another important question. Oh my god! Well, I mean, it looks like we're getting closer and closer to a campaign base. He's like, well, you know what worked really well last time? Siege tanks. And you know what? I'm not... He has 5 Rex. This is not a terrible idea. He figured it out. Like, there you go. What if you had... Imagine, in just some of those fights, having 2 more tanks would have turned what was kind of a close fight into an outright ZerG slaughter. That's how tenuous those pushes were. Literally because there was not very much in the way of target fire. Now, we'll have to see, is this an aesthetic lurker den? Like last game, the lurker den was there to just show how rich he was. He got the lurker upgrades, all of that, but then he never made any lurkers. But we'll see if this one has some practical purpose. When I said 4 minutes, I meant like 7 minutes. Oh wait, Balkast is maxed out. You gotta like just have them sieged, and then you can unsiege them when you need to move. But, like, you want to just have the tank siege so that way a bunch of, like, 200 supply of Roach Hydra doesn't show up at your door. You're like, oh, shit. Like, but what if I sieged him in the wrong spot? Well, like, don't. And that's my advice. Oh, god damn it. Alright, calm down, Clem. Well, looks like both players have maxed out, and both of them are doing their very best to, Yep. Alright, well, here we go. This is happening. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Nope, that way. Yep. There you go. Well, you gotta, like, really, though. There's, like, one. They're called siege tanks. Okay, there we go. There's the siege. And now, there goes the ZerG. Oh, my god. Now, imagine if they had been sieged up at the start of the... Oh, my god. No, you don't even need to imagine. Like... I don't... Where did the 2 medevacs... Oh, my god, the 2 medevacs are actually split. A beautiful drop! There are 42 roaches on the way, but they ain't done yet. The drones are running, which might actually hurt. And a great drop comes out during all of that. The drop actually doing real damage. Maybe he is Clem. And you know what else is doing damage? Twitch and or Comcast. I don't know. We can blame both. For the stream dying. If the stream dies, just like and subscribe so I can, like, launch a satellite and get myself internet. So, unfortunately, it looks like the cartography lessons were a little rough, but here comes the Terran army. One piece at a time. There's a drop. That's a great drop. Why is the lurker? It is a cosmetic lurker den. Look how fancy my base is. I have a lurker den. Oh, aren't you fancy? Okay, so it's on creep, but it's literally a rock in a hard place here. So he kills at least one of his own tanks because they're on top of a creep tumor. This is... It doesn't get much worse. Like, though some of the tanks are not sieged and some of the tanks died to the creep tumor splash. Wow. But the lurker den dies, and Atreides has learned the magic of control groups, so suddenly he's up 60 supply. Wow. But, no but. That's actually just a solid lead. He's just way ahead. He's got 3-3 on the way, both sides do, but, like, you can't... there's a Thermopylae, I think, or some shit like that. I don't... Okay, well, for posterity. Why does this always... This is happening at terrible times. This is not a good time for this. Oh my god, he needs to stop killing his tank. I didn't want to pause the game because this is a very tense moment. He built a lurker. Wait, does he have 2 lurker dens? Yes. Oh, he had another lurker den. I was gonna pause, but, like, they're actually, like, having a real fight. He killed another 1 or 2 of his tanks with other tanks, by the way. In case... Just welcoming you back. Atreides slowly sauntered his way around the center of the map and now closes in on the 4th. Unfortunately, his less than quick sieging has resulted in not actually outright... Well, I mean, it's close. He's very close to outright winning the game. And the drops at the back just breaking the back of Balkast. It looks like Atreides has taken it home. I gotta say, with solid execution, the double drops actually really doing great here. Maxing out and then splitting, dividing and conquering. So he's just got a siege, won that. He's got the money in the bank. He's put the... Oh my god, he has 15 siege tanks. So even if he loses half his tanks, he still has more than enough tanks. Against Balkast, who just... Even if he had, like... it doesn't get... It doesn't get much worse than that fight. He built a lurker, and the lurker actually has done quite well. But you can build more than one lurker per den. Maybe eventually he will discover that. The tanks. Those tanks, those are +2/+2 tanks. Which is more than enough. 0-0 tanks would have been fine, but that's just a little gratuitous. Oh, wow. A real special level of tanks here. Special does not infrequently make way too many tanks for the occasion. GG, WP! And by tearing him apart, I gotta say, Balkast tried to fit a square peg in a non-existent hole, but Atreides, he made sure that there was no hole for that peg to fit in, and that's about as much as we're gonna say about that. And that is what being a super pylon on Patreon gets you. The best, the creme de la creme, the casting that you know and you love for some reason. Atreides, the student of winter, not saying anything, but comes out on top of his higher ranked opponent, but shows a grasp of strategery and of Terran, incredibly efficient and effective. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Good luck, have fun. Stay tuned.
Hell, it's about